Yo, I know that was loud as hell. Hello and welcome back to all of our faithful Four Times Dope listeners. I'm one of your humble guests and host, Jamie. I'm here with Kwame Kasharo and my homeboy, Jermaine. What's up, boys?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Oh,
What's
man,
up, man?
2021 is already off to a wild start. We got to acknowledge that, man. These white folks still crazy.
You're right about that. You're right
I
about
want
that
to
all
catch
day.
up, man. I want to ask y'all real quickly, what is the title of your autobiography?
Boy.
That's deep, ain't it?
Yeah, you might have to lead that one first, man, because I got to think.
Allow me to go first. Allow P to go first. Um, I would say my autobiography the title would be The Wild and Crazy Times of Jamie Lamont. Oh boy, P crazy. But on some wholesome shit. So I guess you gotta stitch wholesome in there too, because I am an Eagle Scout and that shit matters. It made me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But Kwame, what is the title of your autobiography?
I would say The Everyday Man.
The Everyday Man.
Yeah.
Kwame M. King.
Yeah, The Everyday Man, and just be the life, and I guess how I move, throughout, nothing's real spectacular, but nothing underachieving, but just like I'm saying, I'm like everybody else, man, trying to do it, but just got my version of doing it, my perspective, my views, my, saying my way of seeing things. So,
right.
Yeah, that would be for me.
Let's go with Jermaine. Jermaine, what is you have written one book that we have seen published. I'm pretty sure you have I think two more in the queue. But what is your autobiography title?
I just want to preface what I'm about to say, but by saying this, that's a dope question. I think a lot of people need to be asked this question.
Yeah.
It's a motivational question. Honestly, man, the title of my autobiography will be The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Revenant, okay.
Like the Revenant Covenant.
You better put me on. I'm about to Google that. What's going on?
Yeah, pull that up. We lost him here on the audio part. You still talking, dog?
Yeah.
Oh well. We lost you. We're gonna come back to you.
Y'all need to apologize.
There you go. All right, try it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Okay, no, okay. I apologize. I was saying that, yeah, the title of my autobiography will be The Revenant. It just basically means to come back from the dead. And I think at the end of the day, when I just think about how, oh my God, fellas, I know we all got war stories, man, but damn, mine are magnified. On my professional path, man, the things I had to face and endure. But you know what? I was always given the oxygen I needed to just breathe through all that crap, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's
The
the title of
Revenant
mine.
by Charles J. Jones.
J. Jones. There you go.
Interesting.
All right. Brother Kasharo,
I like that.
Your autobiography title.
Mine is very simple and to the point. I'm just Kisharo.
I'm just Kasharo by Kasharo Easterling.
Yes.
Alexander, K.A.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alexander Easterling.
Yeah, because my name itself is like, what does that mean?
Right.
It's like kind of mysterious. If you're looking at it like, who is this person? But
yeah, who is she? Kasharo. That's like saying Jamie Patterson is a little white girl.
Right. It's like you don't know. But I feel like now I'm in a place that I'm like, I fought so hard internally to find my voice.
Yeah.
Because I think outside, I don't think people look at me as somebody who's shy, who don't have a voice, but internally, I've always felt like I've been trying to find my voice and where I belong. So I'm finally at that place. And so my book will basically be about how I got to where I am now to be like, I'm just Kisharo.
Got it. All right. That's some dope titles, boys. We have been on a hiatus since late December. So there's a lot of catching up to do. And a lot of shit, and you have to use that expletive because that's exactly what's been going on, has been going on in our country and around the world, clearly with all this COVID still going on, and the insurrection at the Capitol. I mean, these white folk are crazy. So, I mean, along with everything, I mean, with NBA and NFL, there's so many other things going on. High school athletics is crazy. Kwame, catch me up. What's been going on?
Yeah, well, you definitely just said some of the things that I was thinking about. I think we last recorded was on December the 22nd. So, like I said, a lot has taken place. Even it's been over a little over a month. I think I first wanted to just wanted to start with just this sending condolences to people who just dealing with losing family members, friends,
We're up
co-workers.
to 400 plus thousand dead Americans
Dead
right
Americans. Yeah, not just COVID related, but even if it's not COVID related, but just all together, just seem like it's just it's just on an all time like freaking high or something. I don't know what it is. So like I said, if anybody had lost anybody, personally, or somebody they know, I just want to send my condolences. We want to send our condolences to them, of course, first of all. We lost a few celebrities. I mean, a lot actually, even that short period of time. But like Casey Jones, the basketball coach for the Celtics, or MLS player,
Casey Jones,
Joe Clark, the principal. You know what I'm saying?
So many,
You know what I mean? Paul Westphal, Hall of Famer.
Sister Tyson.
Yeah, Sister Tyson. Eric Jerome Dickey, Tommy Lasardo, John Chaney. We just lost John Chaney a few days ago. So it's just like it's been a lot. So I don't want to just I want to start with just kind of just giving respect to anybody who lost anybody. If I forgot anybody, it's charge it to my my head, not my heart on that. But more on the lighter side, I mean, just like I say, just more just catching up, watching a whole bunch of TV. I mean, some of the things I have been watched over that period of time was just like what I watched. I've been watching like on Netflix, The World Toughest Prisons.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They got some wild shit over there in Mexico, don't they?
It's everywhere, man.
It's
like,
everywhere.
like the craziest joint was this. Well, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the premise of it, but it's about this guy who goes to different prisons for a week and all over the world.
Why
and
would he? Well, some white
he was a former. Actually, he was committed. He was in prison for 12 years for murder, but
he loves that shit.
But he was wrongly framed. He was able to not basically correct his name, whatever and stuff. And they found
this nigga's Andy Dufresne, and you keep on coming back to jail.
That part I don't understand, but he has to become a journalist.
Shawshank Redemption, y'all know. Andy Dufresne left jail because he was wrongly convicted.
But they had this one particular episode where this dude go to this country called Lesotho or something. It was like a small country in South Africa, and they just talking about the culture of how like the culture in general about how like the men just don't like respect like women and stuff, and the rape is so high, and then the people in the prison had this high age rate. It was crazy as hell. But yeah, that's been one thing. I also watched like something more like Ted Lasso on Apple TV, and like the episode called
good?
It's lighthearted, kind of it's kind of funny. We want a little chuckle, a little laugh, something lighthearted. It's cool. And actually, this other show on Apple TV called See, that was pretty good.
Okay.
And that's about the people who can't see and all that, but it's pretty good.
SEE, like see?
SEE, like seeing, but it's a whole world like where people who cannot see, but they're trying to like I guess survive. But then it's a long story. But yeah, the kids get able to see and all that. But either way, that's pretty much for the most part. And the last thing I probably want to share over that period of time is just just had like my third anniversary. My wife had a third anniversary. So technically speaking, right now we should be coming back from Vegas, but since this whole COVID thing happened, so that didn't happen. So that was the only thing. Like I said, we usually take turn each year. Like we will one of us, either I will plan for our anniversary, and the following year my wife would plan it. Whatever. So I think this year was my year to plan it. And I had already booked some for Vegas prior to this COVID stuff, but that kind of messed everything up. But I saw that, and that's what it's been for me.
Okay, Kasharo, you just had a birthday.
Indeed.
Catch
The
us
big
up.
44. That's the most
Obama
current
years.
thing with me.
All right.
What else? Well, my wife she got out of grad school. Well, not finished, but her semester was over December 18th. So
Okay. So
from
it's semester
September,
one.
yeah, so from September to December, it's been like crazy in the house. So when she was done, things kind of like got back to normal a little bit. You know, we was all able to spend more time together and just, just talk because we, as a family, have not really talked like, we should because it's just been so busy with the hustle and bustle. But the Christmas break really gave us some time to, get back and do that. So spending time with the family, one. What else? My Mildred came for Christmas. That was good. No, she didn't. It wasn't Christmas. It was
a couple weeks after Christmas.
Couple weeks after Christmas, yeah, because she wanted to make sure she was COVID free. So she wanted to make sure that she was good before she came. So that was good because she's 84 now, and every year counts. That you don't know the last time you're gonna be able to spend with somebody. So it was good to have her up here, spend time with her. What else? Like Kwame said, catching up on shows, which I don't feel like I get to do that a lot. But here lately, I have been just doing that. Like after work, I shut it down, come to my man cave, and flick that TV on to whatever I want to look at. And recently on Netflix, what is it? The History of Swear Words.
Oh yeah, which one you up to now?
Hilarious. I watched the whole thing.
Okay,
That was hilarious.
I watched fuck, and I was like, yeah, I got it.
Every word every curse word you can think of, for the most part, is, and then they give you a definition of it, the history of it, how it breaks it down. It was hilarious, which I couldn't wait to get to bitch because it's like that word to me. I don't know what it is about that word. I don't care who say it, how they say it. It cracks me up like when I hear that word. So I was, I was like, I couldn't wait for that one. So that was the best one to me.
Hey, back up. So I understand. So it's a 30-minute show, and then
it's like I think it's 10 episodes. Each word has its own.
Shit, damn, goddamn.
Each episode breaks down a different
bitch. Bitch, fuck, pussy, like it's crazy. It's funny, but it's also educational. The history of swear words.
Okay, I gotta look that up. Okay,
it's hilarious.
It's some good some good shit.
And
before I call on Jermaine, I like to. What I did was catch up to catch you all up on. Just got married, recently married, and what I've been doing is really just been enjoying my wife and the actual opportunity to call her my wife.
How's that been for you?
I had to go down to Time Warner to get the box because my wife liked to watch cable, so I got to get the cable box. I wasn't being facetious, like no, it was my actual wife. Because my wife wants this thing to happen. Right. And just being a husband and being called husband, my husband, and it not being a joke or being
real.
No, it's real. It's in the paperwork. Right. We got the marriage license. Gonna hang that up beside our AKA and $2 plat. Married. He is married, and just enjoying that part and being a Black husband. Right, and just catching up on real life. I gotta go see my mama. She got mad because we didn't come down for Christmas. It's COVID. Mom can't be, but she won't have it any other way.
She like risk it all, huh?
Fuck that, nigga. You better come. She with the fisticuffs. You got to come down here. So we gotta go see mama. But it's just really relishing in the fact that shit, I'm a husband.
Yeah, it takes some time, man. I tell you, but it's a good thing though. It's just like that.
It certainly is.
Yeah,
it is. Not that anything's changed. It's more mental. Like, oh shit, I can't do that. My wife said no. But you breaking the rule because your girlfriend said no, or your fiance.
You got some structure. You got some structure.
Nigga, structure is the key word in that. Get your ass up. It's time to get up. Damn, baby. That's your wife. She said get up. You got to get up.
Yeah.
All right, Jermaine, what you got? Catch us up, brother.
Man, so this is what I've been doing. I think, Kashar will probably definitely know, maybe Kwame too, but I don't watch TV damn near at all. What I've been doing, researching, writing, book, finishing up. I went beyond my deadline, but it's all good. And just been doing me, taking
Uh-huh.
time out for me, man. Spending time just unplugging and decompressing from just all the stuff that I actually have going on. Unfortunately, I had 3 genuine COVID related deaths in my family within 4 months.
Yeah.
I had a slew of cousins who had it. So really, the other part of the downside was me getting the chance to really see um, how COVID works,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Mm-hmm.
for older people who have pre-existing conditions, people of color who don't maybe not have the best health care.
Right.
It's just a bunch of shit, man. But anyway, but I will say this: I can honestly say I've been able to spend some diligent time with my mom, uh, kicking it with her, and just learning more about me by like diligently spending time, weeks at a time, with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, outside of that, networking, still networking, reaching out to folks, and just researching and writing, man, reading this book and trying to stay clear cognitively of all this foolishness that is going on in the United States of America.
My God.
Um, that basically just as a firm reminder of how much of a two-tier system we live in is, right?
Yeah.
The insurrection at the Capitol wasn't an insurrection. That was a welcome home party.
Damn,
Yeah,
dog.
Hell yeah.
that was come on back home. We miss y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, let's get into that. And with that, what I mean by that is, let's talk about some double standards, man. Listen, you got well, all of us can go all day long with this, but I do want to talk about some double standards because I'm gonna tell you something. On January 6th, this is what I thought about. I never forget these two cases, man. And this is when I actually own up in the crosshairs in America. There were two rape cases.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One was this guy named Brian Turner, black guy. He was a blue chip football player. He
Okay.
he he committed to USC.
That's
Brian
right.
Turner.
Mm-hmm.
He committed to USC.
Mm-hmm.
He was falsely accused of rape his
Mm-hmm.
senior year in high school. He got sentenced to 10 years. He did 5. This is how he
Damn.
got released. The young lady confessed to lying on him, right?
Right.
All right, but they didn't have any physical evidence. So he got sentenced to 5. He couldn't take the scholarship, whatever. So he had to go to prison at 18 or something like that.
Uh,
Let's flip the coin. Brock Turner was a swimmer at Stanford University,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
white guy.
Yeah.
He he was actually frat parties. You guys, we know how it go. Frat
Yeah.
party, beer everywhere, drinking. He was actually caught by 2 students raping a girl physically inside her behind a dumpster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember
He
that.
got sentenced to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad told the judge that's too much time for 20 minutes of action.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Justified
ended
it.
and he ended up doing only 3 months of probate house arrest or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. He's a free man.
Yeah, the
So,
judge he was talking about he's a young man, he made a mistake. I remember that case. I remember both of those cases actually.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the judge also, I mean, his attorney said for Brock Turner, his attorney said, okay, that would be too much time because of the lifestyle his parents afforded him to live, that would be a traumatic experience if he went to jail.
You know.
Yeah. Not the fact that
Okay,
he did that to that young
yeah,
lady though.
that's my point. So my point is this, fellas, and I'll come back and I can respond to some of this. You
Hey,
guys
Jermaine.
see from the instruction, thoughts on this? You guys hear me?
Nah,
You
you
guys
kind
hear
of
me?
breaking up. You sound like a robot right
Yeah, we
now.
lost you there.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. What about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I just want you guys to give me your thoughts on this on that ideology of us living in a double standard world, and as black men,
Mm-hmm.
what is the safest thing we can do to navigate through this? Jamie, I'll start with you.
It's a double standard that's always been there. How do we navigate it? That is a that is the $1 million question. I don't have the answer for you. I just,
That's a hard question to answer.
it really is. The let's start with asking a question. Well, better yet, let's just answer that. Let me try to answer that. Stay away from white girls, right?
That's a short answer.
That's a real short answer.
Yep.
You could stay away from white girls. You could also not rape. Let's start there. I mean,
Okay, that's true too.
you could do that. We as a culture need to get away from using the church as the base and understand what it's used for. The church is certainly supposed to be there, but your pastor shouldn't be the leader of your community. You need to have a politician that's the leader of your community. So if you indeed did something like that, you can go to your politician. We don't even know who our politicians are. So I mean, if you're systemically looking at how to get to it, it's one, removing who you think is in power and putting the person who is indeed in power to handle your situation. Because most Black people don't have a. You go to your pastor. Nothing is wrong with that, but the pastor is then supposed to go to your local politician to fix this injustice. But we stop at the pastor, and that's just one. I mean, if you look at Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics,
Powernomics,
yeah, he teaches that if you're building a building, you need to start with your politics, and this is how you do so. But the quick and dirty answer: stay away from the white women. And don't rape is the first answer. You shouldn't be raping; it should be consensual.
I
mean, I'll kick it to you, Kashara.
Well, I had a comment actually in reference to what you're saying because it got me thinking about. I can't think of. I remember there was a case in Georgia with this dude. I think it's Gerardo Wilson, something like that. Anyway, he was 17 years old, Black guy, and he had consensual sex with this 15-year-old girl. She wasn't white though; she was a Black girl. So, but it was consensual. But he got sentenced to, I think, 10 years in prison because of that situation. So it kind of goes back to the situation you were saying. Stay away from white girls. I think that's major. I think that's true. But what do we do in situations where it's not a white girl involved? You know what I'm saying? I think the system is still set up to hurt us regardless because we're Black men. Period. So that's when Jermaine asked that question. That was the first thing I thought about after you said, stay away from white girls, which I agree with 100%. But it just really got me thinking, like, how do we really answer that question? Like, what can we do? Because you feel like it's gonna always be that way.
Right.
It was that way before us. It's gonna be that way after us. And I think we making strides, but like, what can we do? You know what I'm saying? It's really scary to think about it. And I think about it every time I walk out the house. I think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I feel a little pause in my body when I see a cop. You know what I mean? Like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna put? I ain't even do nothing. I'm standing at a stoplight, but I see a cop. Something comes over me, and I'm like, I ain't even do nothing wrong. So that's just a really hard question to answer, Jermaine. It just really got me thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Kwame, what would you say, dude?
Yeah, I think. I don't think we even touching the surface. A lot of things is so much, and it's so overwhelming. We can point to so many things. So for the listeners, whoever's getting this, like, if we don't get everything, it's so much. We'll be here all day talking about what's wrong and why it's not fair.
Why it's a double standard.
You know what I mean? Why it's a double standard. But just to start with what Jermaine was saying, he gave you two similar cases with the Black athlete and the white athlete and how the time was different. And you can see how certain judges or people in power can make those decisions and justify whatever it is. I think one of the things, they look at us differently. You still see, we saw that, like you said, on January 6th. We have the former president, I guess at the time, was saying this and citing this information for 2 months straight, how the stuff was stolen, having rallies, talking about it constantly on Twitter. and you're feeding the monster, you're feeding the monster, and you're feeding the monster until they all come together before making these actual the election actually official, whatever, where they're counting the votes for it, or certified for and then all of a sudden he was saying, using language to go ahead and to basically storm the Capitol, get these people riled up. So we all know the story about that, but we also know that if there was any other ethnic group or people doing that, the police would have been well prepared. They would have horses all there bordering certain areas. Like you wouldn't have been that close to the Capitol. And so, but it goes to show the fact that they didn't even look at them as a threat.
Nah.
All those videos that was coming out and everything, and how some of these I guess I don't call it domestic terrorists was talking about, this is our White House. I mean, this is our Capitol and this is our tax dollars and stuff like that. And you see how entitled some of those people are.
In their mind, they was sold like, yo, this is my house.
They was saying it with every meaning. They like, you couldn't tell them no different. They really believe what they were saying. Like no other color, no other ethnic groups pay taxes here. Like
period. Nobody.
You know what I mean? So if you see how like they feel like they're so not everybody, of course, but the ones who was up there, you know what I'm saying, feel like that it was so owed to them. That's just the tip of the iceberg of how you know how things go. And now you're talking about, now you have actually people that actually basically, you know what I'm saying, do the insurrection in the Capitol, and now you got some Republicans, some people don't want to commit the person and talking about unity, and it's a mess of unity. Like, yo, if you did something wrong, we need to pay the price for it. Any other time, you don't have no problem seeing people need to go to jail. You know, especially us.
Well, that's coded language. They're also saying, yeah, let's unify. But these other folk who did this stuff, they do have to go to jail. But the president, he shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? It's like
he shouldn't be held liable. He should be.
No, he made him go do it.
The Proud Boys.
Hold on, and I say that because oh no, I was saying you can't. You know, when you incite and you pour gasoline on a situation like that, well, let me say this. Keep in mind, 5 people were killed, right?
And 2 committed suicide, so it's 7.
2 committed suicide. That's right. So, but that came from. The dog whistle has always been blowing, right? The dog whistle has always been there, but you don't get it. You don't have the right, and you don't get the chance to incite something as ferocious as that was. But I will say this: I can give you guys. I can go down a slew of examples. Let me give this one example. It was this cop in Georgia 2 or 3 years ago. Lieutenant Greg Abbott. He pulled this white lady over. A white lady. She was terrified to get out of her car because around this time, I think it was what's my man name down? He was killed in his apartment by the white cop.
Both
of John around that time. So he stops this white lady in Georgia. She's like, "No, I'm not getting out of the car." Do you know what he tell this white lieutenant, Greg Abbott? He tells his white lady, and he tells her on his mic and everything is on. He says, "We only kill black people to comfort her, to get her out the car." So my point is, people in this country who believe that or believe certain things about the power structure of this company, they are on go. They are on kill mode, and you can't incite these folks. And some of these folks are in Congress. AOC just said the other day, it's not even about politics. Like I'm scared for my life because some of these GOP Republicans in here are on the same team as these folks.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So my point is, we gotta hold Trump accountable. Everyone needs to be held accountable. I don't care if he's not in office for that action, he needs to be held accountable. Of course. I believe. But go ahead, Kwame. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but and we all making good points. I mean, I guess so the main thing is, to me, is just like I said, is we already know, you know, saying it's different laws with the coke and crack and all that stuff too, and how you can have the same drug and how the drug sentence is completely different based off what population may use one other drug versus another.
Yeah,
I guess as far as in masses, whatever and stuff, and how they trying to criminalize the black people, you know, or people of color that was on the drugs. With Reagan and Operation Say No to Drugs and all this stuff like that. It was all about locking us up and these unmandated sentences, long sentencing times and everything like that. And now we're going to this point where we got opioid crisis going on now. Now it's all about rehabilitation.
We gotta say,
Say again, Jermaine.
it's about now. We have to save these white suburban kids.
Yeah.
They just happen to get hooked on drugs, right?
Right. The whole
Yeah.
state of Kentucky.
Yeah. So
All the
so
people
we
in the
was
Appalachian.
Yeah, so at that point, there's these
They
poor
hooked.
kids, these poor people, you know what I'm saying? And it may be the case, but at the same time, where was all this compassion when it came to the inner city and stuff and to the people who was actually addicted to drugs? So you telling somebody who got an addiction just to say no, and that was the slogan we supposed to go off of.
Just say no.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like that was enough. And if not, get them 20 years in jail. You know what I'm saying? You got an addiction.
Gone.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, Kwame, let me say something. I did some research back in '08, '09 or something like that.
mm-hmm.
And to your point, Kwame, what you just and I'll give it back to you. To
You
your
good.
point, these two PhDs did some research on the prison system. So I found their research, and what they did was it was just simple research. They contacted all prisons in America, all prisons, and what they did was this: all men of color who were serving time, they added all their time up. It could be state time, home confinement, state time, fed time. They added all that time up, and that
Mm-hmm.
time ended up equaling to be like 16 million years.
Mm.
16 million years worth of jail time.
Yes, because the prison system population from like 1980 and above, and then to after that, like I said, once Reagan got in, then you got Bush pushing the same thing.
Yeah.
Then you even got Clinton pushing the same thing with 3 strikes and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you get all these people who was pushing like straight, stay tough on, on crime was the slogan, because you got these people out here raping our women and robbing us and stealing, and they putting a face on us. So you got like these women, you know what I'm saying? They're showing like our black women as crack mamas and stuff like that, who's not caring for their kid, and they care about this drug more so than their own kids, and they taking their kids away from these mamas and all this stuff. I mean, it's so deep how systematic this stuff is, and and it goes to generation. So now, your mama was taking you took it for your mama because she had a drug addiction, and now you have issues because you might not have a whole full household in place, and you go in the house, or you go into the foster care system and stuff like that. And now you go ahead, now you introduced to crime probably because you in different. I mean, it's just so deep. It goes so deep, and it goes generation and generation like that. And it's not a system in place where it should be, where it's about helping and trying to, but like, it doesn't matter because a lot of us, we as black people, are getting affected more so than white folks. If it was the other way around, white folks getting this type of deal, then you best believe it's going to be some kind of problem solving and some kind of initiatives are going to happen. Trying to correct the situation. But like I said, we already know we're not valued the same way. We see it every day, and they'll go ahead and point a couple successful black stories, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
This person, he did this, he came from the ghetto and he pulled himself up by his bootstraps and he did it, and why can't you?
Yeah.
It's not, you can't see this playing field is not even, then you're just not trying to see it.
Nah, you never
They
could
don't
see
want to see it. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll be on the whole thing. Y'all go ahead.
That's true. Everything else is very valid. I got a question real quick since we're talking about the double standard. Do y'all think, because I know money and celebrity plays a part in this too, with the whole college scandal situation, I know for a fact that these people was black, it'll be way different, the charges. But black being a celebrity, do you think it would have been the same or would have been different?
You know what? I think if they want to make an example out of you, it doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. Bill Cosby is a perfect example. Now listen, let me be clear. I'm not condoning anything, any allegations against him. But what I am saying is, when it comes to media and when it comes to the powers that be making an example out of you, um, the media coverage with Cosby and compared to the media coverage, even with R. Kelly. And again, I'm not doing any of that shit, R. Kelly, but the media coverage for those two dudes and Harvey Weinstein, totally different.
Totally different. Yeah.
or Charlie Sheen or anybody else.
So my point is, yeah. So exactly. So Kashara, to answer your question, me, um, I just think that if you're black and you're a celebrity, if you're playing that game, it won't be as magnified. But if they
Mm-hmm.
feel like they make an example of you, and to be honest, it doesn't matter in this country, because this country was built off of the ideology of perpetual slavery. Like, it doesn't matter if you have money in your. It just doesn't matter. Y-
It's
You don't.
access.
Yeah,
Mhm.
your existence doesn't hold the same weight, right? So it just doesn't matter. That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
you can have some white man or white woman come from West Virginia with no teeth or no health care, you know what I'm saying, and live in a trailer. She gonna feel like she's more he or she gonna feel like she's more valued than any of us, who college educated, got either own business or got good careers, whatever else, and it's an entitlement of this, and even to the point where a lot of these people will vote against their best interests because they feel it's a black and white issue instead of things that actually
Yeah.
would help them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean? But like I said, but we can go way back, you know what I'm saying, to like slavery and Reconstruction area, how that stuff was set apart with other stuff when we start getting after slavery, start getting some benefits from after slavery and stuff, and they were trying like, oh no, oh, this black
Yeah,
man
they
got
gave
more
that
than
money to
you.
the
Oh, we
slave
can't do that. You're a
owners.
white man. You more valuable than them. And then you had this stuff where they could also have benefited from it because some of those programs were also helping poor white people at that time too.
Well, here's the thing too. What killed us too, and just real quick, what killed us? What? Okay, look, slavery ends in 1865. A lot of the slave owners didn't get the memo till 2 years later, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when slavery ended, then all of a sudden the government came up with a vagrancy law, and the law was this was a law. Oh, slavery ended. Okay, let's make a law. If you look homeless or you are homeless now, we can't say you go to slavery. Now you go to jail, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that perpetuated. So it's just fucked up, man. Like, that's why I asked the question about navigating earlier. How do we psychologically navigate through this? And not just race, even with jobs. I getting out of the car a lot of the times when we get out of the car, we're like, fuck, I gotta go interview. Because we already know the deck is stacked against us. Like, now it's
Off the
psychological.
rip.
Am I good enough for America? I be thinking that sometimes.
Yeah, and I think when y'all asked the question too, I think some of those things is trying to have the right people, or enough of us in the right position, starting with, what I'm saying, attorneys and judges. First of all, there's a
Yeah.
reason why this GOP were trying to push all those conservative judges in because they saw the writing on the wall about things, as far as supposed to be changing. So they putting all these people in these lifetime positions to make sure who's going to withhold those same judgments. So for the same thing that's been happening, where they'll pat little Tommy on the head. He's a young man. He made a mistake and yada yada, and they give him a chance, a second chance, where somebody black who might do the exact same thing would get 20 something years.
Yeah.
Or you
And
go into
serve
the
them.
whole you go to the whole situation, even with with the marijuana, which pisses me off. I'm seeing people in jail for like 20 something years, 15 years for marijuana, not even necessarily freaking trying to like distribute it, but just having it. And now these same people are making so much money off the dispensaries and everything else. And black business people having a hard time even getting that same industry. So it's just those things. It's so hypocritical. It's so obvious, and
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
very disgusting.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, but anyway, so we can just kind of try to just, we can talk about this all day, whatever and stuff. And we got a lot to say. And like I said, once again, I apologize to anybody else because we have a lot of stuff that we can talk about that, but we were trying
Yeah,
to
that
touch a little
double
bit about it
standard is
because we already
real.
know it's a double
Yeah,
standard.
it's deep.
Uh,
Runs
but I kind of
vertical.
want to go with is I want to ask y'all: is this a double standard? Do you think it's wrong uh, for a for a woman not wanting to take her husband's last name once getting married? Or how will you feel about it if you got in a situation where you about to marry your wife or the time and she was just like, yeah, I want to keep my my maiden name. And
Yeah.
you know, like how would that make you feel?
So
I'll
like
start with
no,
you. I'll start with you, Kashar, because you get the most. You know what I'm saying? You have the most years as far as the marriage game out of all four of us.
See, he's a seasoned married
He's
man.
very seasoned. That's the word I'm
he's
looking
a
for, Jermaine.
vet. That man's a
Um,
vet.
So your wife hits you with like, yo, I'm gonna keep my last name. I don't want to take Easterling.
Amos forever, baby.
Yeah, how would it make you feel? Is that a deal breaker for you, or does it matter much to you? Like, where are you at with that?
it would have been a serious problem if she had came to me and said that. Like, yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't know if deal breaker would be the word. I don't know. I mean, it could be a deal. I don't know. That's hard. Deal breaker. It would bother me.
It would bother.
I could not do that. I just nah. It's not. It's not happening.
Why would it bother you though? Like specifically, what about her keeping her name would bother you? That this such, if not a deal breaker, but bother you so much?
Because I blew. Why you don't want to take my name? You know what I mean? That would be my reason. Why don't you want to take my name? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you, I guess in theory you want to use it, but you ain't changing it on anything, or you're not using it. Like, what's going on? Like, what is your reason? Like I said, I would need to know, like, what is the reason? Not just because I don't want to do it. Like, I need to have a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it business purposes? Like, what is it?
I was
Because
about to ask you. So what would be acceptable then? Like, what would be acceptable to you if she was just like, no, I don't want to take Eastland. I want to keep my name. And what is if there's anything that would be like, okay, I can accept this. What would be acceptable to you for her to remain and keep her maiden name?
if you a doctor or something, maybe you can hyphenate it. But you're going to take my name. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if you're an actress, maybe. I just don't see a reason why you would not want to take my name. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
It's no reason at all. Even for your professional career, why can't you use it? Even if you hyphenate, I can deal with a hyphenation. Like, I can deal with that, but just not to use it at all, I'm not comfortable with that at all.
Yes.
Okay. What about you? What about you? Well, I guess I'll be next in line as far as marriage goes, but I'll set myself for last. So I'm gonna go to the other end. I'm gonna go with Jermaine, who's not married, and if you meet the love of your life, Jermaine, and you know everything's good, you know what I'm saying, and then all of a sudden, you know, y'all had that talk, or you was automatic assuming she's gonna take it, but y'all planning a wedding, everything's good. You know y'all about to put stuff in the invitations, to get that together and all that, and she hits you like with like, yo. I'm not gonna take Jones. I'm gonna keep my name Smith or whatever, or Johnson or like how would that affect you? Or will it affect you, Jermaine?
Hey, yo, let me just be clear. All right, I ain't married, whatever,
Uh-huh.
but I got a problem with that. I actually got, you know what? I got a problem with that. Not taking my last name may be a deal breaker. The hyphenating part is not a deal breaker, right? Honestly, and I've gotten better with it, but I think hyphenating, I used to have an issue with that. I don't know. And you can call me traditional or whatever. I just feel like if you marry me, you need to take on my last name, right?
Right.
Um, it has nothing to do with what you're gaining or you're losing. It's just that I think that's just the right thing to do. Um, Hyphenating, cool, yeah, whatever. Or like Kisharo said, there's some instances where you're a doctor, and I know sometimes women who achieve certain things, PhDs, MDs, and stuff like that, they want to hyphenate. They want to attach their maiden name to that success, and I get that. But yeah, you gonna take this Jones. Um, yeah. Hey, look, when Ike Turner put that cake in 2020,
Eat the cake,
I got
put
my
man.
this
daddy's
last
blood on that.
put this last name in your face.
Yeah, I feel
That
you.
man got my daddy's blood on it.
Yeah. No, my mama's got my mama's on it. I took my mama last name.
That's crazy. So
Well, to answer your question, I'm sorry. I would have a problem with that. A big problem. It would be a big issue. Seriously.
I
Yeah.
feel big. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna kick it to the newlywed, who just freshly, walked
Yeah.
through those magical halls of matrimony.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think we had a private conversation, but I already know where you at on this, but you can
Yeah.
share with the listeners.
Please. So marriage, we've decided as a culture that one of these rules is that you I do this and then you do that. I take you down the aisle and I buy you this ring. Well, the other part was also you get to change your last name to my last name. I mean, let's just go with the routine or the what we decided as a culture.
Tradition.
It's tradition. If you want to be traditional, let's continue down the path of tradition. Now, in my wife's case, she has a firm, so it's Faith Bottom CPAPC, and it will remain Faith Bottom CPAPC, but her checks are going to be made out to Faith Patterson. And we decided that.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear. Now, when you refer to her, she's Miss Patterson. But certainly refer to the firm. The firm is a figure. But that woman is Miss Patterson. Right? Because I've decided to lay my life down for her. So all these things matter to me. Like, where's my payoff?
Definitely.
A simple thing like, yo, that's my wife. Approve it. Her last name is Miss Patterson. So it's not a hard, complicated, I guess, decision to make. No, she's Miss Patterson.
So it's safe for any of y'all. Nobody's taking their wife's maiden name in.
So I would be.
Oh heck no!
I've heard of that before.
Nah, if
never.
It was Winfrey or some shit.
Like, where your balls at? That's what I don't know.
What's my boy last name? What's his name? Warren Buffett.
And I gotta ask, who really wearing the drawers?
You said who wearing the drawers, right? But no, but my wife, and actually, this is something. First of all, she is a very traditional person, so I wouldn't have had that issue anyway, because she's very traditional when it comes to being a wife and being a mother. I think the wife I have, we don't really see anymore. She's not a new age wife at all. So she's very traditional in that aspect. But what her father did tell her, which I actually going to tell my daughters, when you change your social security card, keep Amos as your middle name. Get rid of your middle name.
Bynum Patterson on. Yeah, I agree. Yes. I agree.
So I was like, okay, well that's fine. I had no problem with that because I was like, that's exactly what my girls will be doing when they get married. You're gonna keep Easterling. That social security card can say Addison, Easterling, whatever, Avery, Easterling, whatever, but you're gonna keep that. So that part I'm okay with.
Yeah, and that makes sense in that case. Where, like, I don't know the case in regards to Jamie as far as Faith and her father. Like I said, I know with your wife Kashara that she was close with her dad. Like for my wife, her dad wasn't her life, so she didn't have no really attachment to keep that name. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So she kept her middle name in that case. But I'm sure if she had that connection and that bond, like
it would make sense.
Makes sense for she would have probably kept that as the middle name. So I think it's different. Depends on a situation as far as that goes. Yeah. Lisa, know you already know me. You can call me a caveman. You can call me it's ego thing or whatever you want to be. But I'll be honest with you, I might have a problem even with the hyphen, man. Like that's
I have a problem with the hyphen.
You do too? Oh, okay, yeah. And I know it might not be fully correct to say that, whatever and stuff, but I'm just like, you're my wife. I'm not saying that, what I'm saying, that that you're a step behind me and I'm all that, because like I said, I respect my wife. I console with her, we console with each other in many things. I value her opinion, what I'm saying. I don't look at her less than me, nothing like that. But what I'm saying, but this one thing right here, you're gonna be king, what I'm saying? But I feel like she embraced it, what I'm saying.
Now, brothers, if you got a crappy last name like Sucker MC, I mean, like, don't nobody want that name. I could understand that. There are some really bad names out there. Dick, Buster, Chump. I mean, close to a curse word like SHIIT.
Shiites.
or what's a real last name? Was it asshole? What was it? A soul? What was it? It was a commercial. It was one like, my name is not that, but it's now I can understand if I have a crappy last name. You got to acknowledge that. That has to be acknowledged. I don't want to go from a lovely last name like Bynum to base hole.
Something really hard to pronounce.
Well,
hard to pronounce names.
Yeah, that'd be Yeah, I agree with that. What about the flip side of it though? Because I know somebody. Well, we all know somebody who was married, not married anymore. Actually, I know like 3 people I've heard in the last 3 months who's doing this. Oh, your wife or just a female who gets divorced, and she keeps her married name. I mean, not no for no reason. Like she no doctor or nothing business wise. She just chooses to keep that last name, and they're
I'm gonna tell you why.
That's that Tina Turner move.
I'm gonna tell you why she kept that last name.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I heard 2 different reasons, and I'm gonna go ahead with tell me why.
Because it's very cumbersome to change your last name. Because I'm with Faith now. We're changing her last name. All these documents. If you don't have the proper, she had to get a whole package. A friend got it for a wedding, and all these pieces of paper you have to switch your name out on. So if you change your last name, y'all got divorced, it's hard as hell to change it back. I mean, you gotta get a new driver's license, social security number, all that stuff. So I think it's just like, fuck it, just leave it like it is.
I think it's generational too, though. I think like a lot of maybe like older women who might have got divorced. When I say older, like maybe like a mother's age or grandmother's age, if they happen to go in divorce, I think a lot of time they really bothers to change it. Like I said, just to pay on their money just to change it back and all that, and just
and then stopping folk from calling you that.
Yeah, so I think maybe more our generation and younger, they're probably going to go through the. Most people probably go through the process of trying to either change to what they want to back to whatever else they want to change it to.
Well, no, that's it. It's actually you're right. The older generation, our mom's ages they stick with it. Because I know if my mom, she kept hers still. You know, she's not with my brother's dad anymore. The women I'm talking about are our age, like they're new age. Women.
Divorcees.
Yeah, but the reason I heard was one was the paperwork. They don't want to go through paperwork.
Yeah.
The other reason I heard, which I was like, it's kind of weird, they didn't want with this particular girl. She does not want her when she has grandchildren. I guess she's thinking out when she has grandchildren. She does not want to have the conversation. She does not want to be able to explain the conversation with her grandkids of why their last name is different than hers. So she was like, I'm just gonna keep it because I don't want to have that conversation with my grandkids.
Man, like, what if she get remarried though? Did she ever say that? What if she get remarried?
She says it's gonna be hyphenated. It's gonna be that and whatever her husband.
She better ask her new husband that.
That's gangster.
And that brings us back to the beginning of the point. Like, you better drop that bullshit.
You keep your essence.
You would. I wish.
Let me tell you something, man. I wish a nigga would put another nigga name on.
I wish the fuck he would. I wish the fuck.
It's different your daddy name, but come on.
And let me find out.
Let me.
Spoke in the city.
You got all the goddamn curse words.
Why would you do that, yo?
Yeah, whoever you talk to, Deshaun, tell her to think that through, man. Because
I did. I was like, I said, I don't know if I'm gonna go for that. I was like, he a good one if he go for that.
You're not gonna find too many that would. Like she's had like you
said. that's like your girl giving you the man she cheating with coat for you to wear because it's cold outside.
Put that smack in your face, man.
You can wear Jeff coat. Put on Jeff coat. What? I wish you
would do that, man. That is crazy. Why would you do that?
It is.
Check in the closet. You probably wear Jeff stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of Jeff, our frat brother and NCC alum, he has a lovely wife who has a dope business, and we're going to highlight her as our dose of dopeness first person for 2021. Yes, her name is Samara Bowser, and she
Samara?
She is a licensed social worker and a certified trauma specialist for the state of North Carolina. Samara is the owner and CEO of One Journey Counseling and Consulting Services, which is located at 2216 South Miami Boulevard, Suite 203 in Durham, North Carolina. Right now, she's only doing virtual services due to COVID.
Definitely.
Smart.
Yes. Very smart.
Samara is also an adjunct professor at NCCU on the graduate and
Mm,
undergraduate level in the
Get the
social work
pride.
department. Most definitely. She also is specializing right now with teens who are experiencing anxiety and gender issues, which is very big right now and prevalent. So that's her specialty right now. She also is one of 20 authors who has a new book out called Destined to Win. And it's a book that pretty much talks about people who've experienced childhood trauma, and it gives you tips on
mm,
how to deal with the childhood trauma. And if anyone who wants the book, it's on sale right now on Amazon, I believe. But she said if you want it like quicker, you can just cash app her at Samara Bowser, and the book is $24.95. So
Now, how
again,
do you spell Samara?
Samara Bowser Bowser.
yeah.
That's the
Salute to Miss
dollar
Bowser,
sign.
Samira.
Samara
Yeah,
Bowser
shoot a
again.
big.
Stuff.
Sounds
For
good.
real,
Yeah.
bro. Good stuff.
One Journey Counseling Consulting Services. You can find her at www.one, the number one.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, that's all right. Hello. Yeah. Hello.
Welcome everybody back,
Yeah.
and thank y'all. We got through episode 1 of season 2. And remember to follow us on all social media at 4 times Dope Podcast. If you like some dope merch, go to shop s2c.com and look in the shop section and get you one of these dope hoodies, or get you a crew neck, do your thing. Follow up with us and let us know what you think in the episode. If you're on YouTube, go down to the comments. I always want to do that, y'all. You want to hey, go down to the hey, go down to the comments and let us know how you feel.
And Jamie,
Yeah.
let them know we got different colors in the merch too.
Yeah, we got green, we got peach, sport gray, blue, all that. Just go down to the comments.
And also, you guys, if you want to reach us, if you have any comments that you want to talk to us about concerning any shows or anything related to 4 Times Dope, you can catch us at 4 Times Dope Podcast at gmail.com.
Bet
Yep.
money.
Right. So I guess we'll wrap this up. It was good.
Do that.
Good show, y'all.
Push the
Yeah.
button on them.
All righty.
This episode has been brought to you by Subject to Change Customs. Choose Subject to Change for all your custom apparel and promotional product needs. Follow them on all social media at S2C LLC and get your 4 Times Dope merch on their website. That's www.shops2c.com.